Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a great morning so far. I am down just a bit. I've taken 3 trades. Lost the first one, got wicked out to the tick. Won the second one, and then the third one I lost. But that one was a little fluky. I'm not gonna lie. I'll go through it a little bit later in the stream. But we're currently in high impact news right now, so I'm waiting until 9:02. I stopped trading 7 minutes ago at 8:53, and I've just been sitting around waiting. So now I'm waiting for 9:02, and then after 9:02, we'll wait for 2 full swings, and then we'll start trading again. Biggest thing today is trying not to enter any trades that I'm not supposed to be in. The third one that I said was fluky. It's a little iffy whether I should be in it or not. And the only reason I say that is because based on how the reversal bars paint at my minor level, I count it as it either wicking off of it or going through the body. Well, the open of the candle was the exact price of my level. So I've been toying back and forth for weeks now whether I will count it as a wick or a body. I'm not sure because it's literally the same price. And sometimes I'll zoom all the way in to see like, all right, was it like a slight little space between the open and the level, or can I see that it really went through the body? I think I'm just going to start treating it as it going through the body, period. So for that one, it's like, that one really was a true 50-50 situation. So yeah, we'll see. But without that trade, I basically would just be 1-1. And that's it. And I want to not miss out on any trades. I did sit out of one trade. It's actually a trade that I took on my sim yesterday. I am like super confused. I have to go back this weekend and look at that certain thing. It's basically like when my bias changes. If the first pullback touches the bias change zone in any way, shape, or form, I don't take the trade, but I took it yesterday at 1. I didn't take it today. Well, I took it yesterday on sim at 1. I didn't take it today at 1. So I'm really thinking that back when I created that rule, that maybe it really just was that my rules were not all the way defined as far as the volume requirements for the trade. I'm thinking that's what's it. Especially because yesterday and today it wicked off the top of the zone. It would be different if it reacted a little bit different at it. So I'll just use this weekend to study that. It won't take long. I write on each trade, like if the bias just changed, that kind of thing. So we'll see. But yeah, if I count that trade, then I would be 2-1 so far this morning. But yeah, so I really didn't even realize how many trades I sat out of yesterday. I mean, I realized it, but I didn't realize it. It was massive. Just craziness. I was ashamed at myself. But we live to trade another day. This week actually was an amazing week for my strategy. So it really sucks that I still had to spend a little bit of time like putting stuff together this week because oh my god. I think when I looked so far with the tweaks that I made this week, which it wasn't a whole lot, but they meant something. I think it should have been like 33 wins, maybe 2 losses, like 5 break evens. And I can't remember how many trades just didn't even trigger my entry, but it should have been like a $2,500 week per account. Like, come on, bro. This was the best week in such a long time. Like, I haven't seen The last time there was like really good price action for the entire week was the second week of March, which is the exact time that I switch to this Renko setting. Yeah. So I need to just finish getting this together so that she can be prepared for the next time we get this amazing price action. Because, man, it would have been nice to be able to capitalize off of it, for sure. For sure. But the lessons that I have learned this week are super important. So, especially with me adding in the ability to take the alternate divergence at the new session high and low. Learned a couple of things regarding the divergence that goes with the overall trend bias. Learned some things about the few pullbacks that I use. So it's been a lot of learning lessons this week. So I can't even really be mad. I can't. Can't even be mad. So let's just see what the rest of the day brings us. I am back to not trading the regular divergence on Fridays. Alternate divergence only. Good morning, Lisa. How are you? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Looks like we're trying to kind of correct whatever happened with the news. But let's see, 9 o'clock, 9:05. I'll just stay zoomed out a little bit until the swings decide to become smaller. Let's see what we get here. Got a couple of levels that it's trying to react off here. Let's see if we actually push through and get to the prior close, or if we actually create the reversal bar here. Got the VWAP, the current open, this resistance level that's now turned to support. That's a bit. This reversal so far from the lowest point is almost 200 ticks. All right, so that no longer matters. So I'll go ahead and zoom in a bit. As it looks like I'm gonna start being normal. Let's see. Not gonna take a buy here. The buy is now invalidated because it pulled back to 814.50. However, I wasn't gonna take it anyway because we'd be rotating over the prior close, which is a resistance level for me, as you can see. So I can take buys at it, but not when the previous reversal and the entry reversal bar both rotate over it. Now, if this one would have closed a little bit above it and then it did this, I would have been fine. But again, I didn't want it to pull back to 814.50 anyway, and we did so. And this is exactly why I'm done trading divergence on Fridays, because Fridays just tend to like really trend. Most Fridays look like that. Whether they start off that way or it takes it a minute to like get to that point, it almost always happens that way. So the counter trend moves, even though I'm not going for very many ticks, honestly, it's just 4.5 points, just doesn't work out. Now, I did refine my divergence rules a little bit, so I'm not sure if now it will work out, but we're not going to try it today. I can always just go back and look later. It's no big deal. But for now, I'm going to keep it the way it is, and that's not trading it. We're at the prior high right now. And really above it, there's not very much up there. I mean, we're going to keep making session highs if we continue to push up, but we just have the third upper deviation level for the order flow VWAP is at 849 right now. And then we have the major resistance level at 874. But aside from that, there's not much up there. So not very many levels. The VWAP's there. Resistance there, next resistance there, so it's not much. Now I can say we don't really trade past the second deviation level that much, the second and third, so it'll be very interesting to see if it creates like some huge resistance and starts pushing it down, because we don't typically trade that far out. So we'll see. We will see. Where did my accounts start on Monday? Let's see. What was last Friday, the 19th? I thought, oh, I did 267 and 56. 267 and 50. So I am a little bit in profit for the week, so that's nice. No trade here, no buys at the prior high, so we'll just kind of have to wait it out and see if we create enough resistance, being so far out from the middle VWAP, continuing to create new session highs, being at the prior low. Let's see if we create enough resistance to start pushing down. So I'll just have to be patient for the moment. Still just kind of in a whatever zone right now. So just so you guys are aware, my prior, somebody called my name. My prior high and lows are always like solid lines. The open and close are dashed lines like that. And then the current open is always this like dash dotted line. So any lines that you see on the charts are literally just there for me to be able to see different levels of support and resistance. That's really all I care about, because to be honest with you, most of my trades happen because they react off of some kind of level. And if they don't react off of a level, like the actual entry bar, like for, say for instance, divergence or something, it will typically, ooh, this is a good, very interesting. Um, like for divergence, it might not react, the entry bar might not react at a level, but it might react at like the previous reversal bar might have reacted at a level. So I'm taking a trade based off of how the previous bar reacted off of a level. So it's kind of the way that I'm trading at this point. I was hoping that us rotating over the rotation level was going to be enough. And the only reason why I went ahead and chanced it, because so my minor level, my minor trend changed from a downtrend to an uptrend around here. And normally, my rules based off of a color change take precedence over everything. But yesterday I was trying to figure out if we have something like this where the volume requirements aren't where I want it to be, but we're rotating over the rotation level. I was kind of iffy as to like if us rotating over the rotation level is like superior overall, and it looks like it's not. So I don't know. I'll have to just kind of go back and look a little bit, because we might just have to keep it where the color change, whatever requirements are based on the color change, takes precedence over everything. So with that loss, I can stomach that one, just because I was a little bit iffy about it. So as long as my accounts end positive, like net positive this week, that's all I care about. Good morning, Husk. Oh, I'm so glad you're having a great morning so far. Good, good. Fridays are, it's like so hit or miss for me. It's either really good or really bad. But I think some of the really bad days were really just because of me still taking divergence trades at the time. So we'll see. But like today, 2 of the losses were just kind of like, we still don't know type trades. So it's cool so far, honestly. And it's always one of those things where by the time I go back and I look through the data, it's like, we'll just eliminate that. It's so easy to eliminate. Because there are certain ways that things set up where they don't even set up that often. So I would rather stick more to the trades where I wouldn't say I know what's going to happen, but they set up so often that like you just kind of know what's going to happen. But things like this trade don't happen often. I mean, we were going back towards the new session high, my minor trend change, we were rotating. It just was a lot going on there. So I'll just have to dive into the data to make sure I can figure out which volume requirement takes precedence over anything. And like I said, I think it's the minor trend change that takes precedence over everything, but we'll see. Most of the time you're a sim account trader on Fridays. I feel you. I have a girlfriend who's been trading for over 10 years and she does not trade on Fridays. She refuses. She refuses. But it's so crazy because you see stuff like this and it's like, for most people, this type of price action, you would want to be in that on Fridays, right? But there are so many people who just do not like trading Fridays, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Now, last Friday for me was actually a green day. I remember that's when I made the like 1231 total for the accounts. All right, so the sell is invalidated. I was hoping it pushed down either here or there where the outside bars were, but we pushed back too far for my liking. I just basically don't like taking trades where if it pulls back to my minor level, the minor level goes through the body of the entry candle. I just don't like it because if it's a true area of support or resistance there, then we should be wicking off of it. So that lets me know it's not strong enough. And here we only went 14 ticks. I need 16 at least to get to break even. So it was a good call to stay out of it. You don't like going into the weekends mad. I feel that. I feel that. I'm not gonna lie, this morning is going by pretty fast. Why do I have so many DMs? I feel that. I'm only sending this as I told you I would tell you one time. Oh, so nice. Methodical said, the longer you stay in the market, the more likely it's going to take your money. And I feel you. That is why I like scalping. But I can't lie. These Facebook memories make me want to go back and find the journal that I was writing in at the time to figure out how the hell I was trading. I was doing so well, y'all. Like, so well. And I just stopped. Like 4 years ago yesterday, I made $800 on my live account. Took 6 trades, won them all. Like, when I tell y'all, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Man. I just cannot believe that I stopped trading. I don't know what I was dealing with 4 years ago, but I really screwed myself. Really freaking screwed myself. How do I... Oh, here we go. That's when I was trading the bonds heavy. Let me show y'all. We're in a really weird area right now. I told you guys we don't usually trade this far outside of the middle VWAP, so I'm not surprised that every time we go up there, we just kind of reject off of everything. Let me show y'all. So I was trading so well, man. Y'all see that? $800 day 4 years ago, 6-0. I don't know what I was doing then, but I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out. Cause what? This is when I was a psycho and I was trading the ES. No offense to those who still trade the ES, but I can't do it. And you could tell it's a real account because the chart trader is black. That's how NinjaTrader does things. But I was up $200 on an MES trade. Like, don't ask me what I was doing because I don't know. I just genuinely don't even know. But that's why I journal, because I can figure it out. And I can find out if I want to start trading that way again. I was trading all kinds of stuff though, but I don't know. Good morning, Amelia. How are you? Oh no! Not another day of blown evals. We don't like that. We don't like that. I'm sorry. Fridays are tough. Not gonna lie, Fridays are tough. The only thing I can say is with Fridays, you definitely want to go with the trend. Do not counter trend. Even with scalping, only one of my two counter trend plays works on Fridays. The other does not, at least now. Now, I did say earlier I do need to go back and check that because I did make some pretty big changes to my divergence setup this past week or so. So I do need to go back and check to make sure, but I'm not going to take any counter trend divergence for that one particular type today, just because historically, based on my old divergence rules, it didn't work out so well. So we'll see. But yeah, Fridays are very tough. And it's weird because Fridays usually are trending days, which, I mean, it is trending today. But it's like, I think what happens is, depending on what time frame you trade, or like whether you use ticks, range, volume, bars, whatever, I think what happens is on Fridays it trends so much that if you like to trade pullbacks and things like that, you're not really going to get pullbacks. Or if you like to wait for some accumulation / consolidation to happen first, you're probably not really going to get that. Because it doesn't really stop for long. It just goes. It just goes. Hey, Bio, how are you? You saw what happened with that DM last night. You're sorry for it. You hope that person gets banned. They were. And thank you. Honestly, I'm going to tell you guys something. Dealing with stuff like that it can kind of hurt, like sting a little bit. And it's only because like we're in 2024. Why do you still have to deal with that, right? When I was working as a nurse, one of the jobs that I had, I was working at a psych facility. It was a long-term care facility. It was kind of like a medium security jail. Essentially, a lot of people were sent there for being not guilty by reason of insanity or permanently incompetent to stand trial. And we dealt with people who unalived people who did things to children. I mean, everything you could possibly think of, right? And on some units, you had people that were much older, people that were in their 80s, who you kind of expect racist things to come out of their mouths, right? And it kind of doesn't really bother you that much because it's like, you're out of your mind. You probably don't even know the times that it is right now, and you're on your way off of this earth anyway. So you know what? Whatever. But I did have an incident where there was a biological female who wanted to be called male pronouns, but still very much looked like a female. And because of that, a lot of people would forget to call them the pronouns that they wanted to be called, right? And so I had came into work one day, didn't even interact with the person in any way, shape, or form. And they came up to the med window because I was the med nurse that night. And I don't know what happened before I got there, but they called me the N word with the B word behind it and punched out the med window to where it almost hit me. And I got up and I walked towards that window because I'm not going to lie to you. For half a second, I forgot I was at work. Okay? I forgot I was at work until I walked and I saw a big concrete wall with a med window in front of me. And I was like, oh, shoot. This person was 19 years old. There's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? But these are things that are passed down to people generation after generation. To have something like that happen and it's completely unprovoked is ridiculous, you know? And so I'm going to tell y'all the funniest thing about it was later on, they got into the midline, and I told the other nurse, get them out of my line. I'm not interacting with them. You can give them their medication off to the side. That's it. So she gave them the medication and came back and was like, well, they're still in the line because they want to apologize. And I was like, no, I don't. First of all, I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't deal with apologies in real life. Like, when you do something on purpose, there's no apology for it. You're grown. You knew what you were doing, right? Like, what are we talking about here? Apologies are for, we're at a store on my phone and I accidentally run into you. That's an apology. But if you see me ram my cart into you purposely and then I say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there, you're going to want to fight me, right? So I don't accept apologies for things that people do on purpose. And so they came to the med window, apologized, and I just looked at them and I looked back at my computer. I don't have to accept that, right? But the funniest part was I heard them in the midline upset talking to another patient saying, you know, they called me she. I'm not a girl, even though biologically they were. I don't like being called that. And I'm sitting here thinking, but you think I'm the N word with a B word behind it? You don't like to be called female pronouns, but you think you can call me racial slurs. It's insane. And the crazy thing is, with that person bio, I didn't even respond. I immediately banned from the Discord, sent it in the mod chat, and I hope that person likes Top Step forever because they can never come back to Apex. Because you're like, come on now. It's insane. You know? And unfortunately, as a Black person, that's what we deal with. It's completely unprovoked. You see how I interact with people in the Discord. I'm never condescending. You know, I might play around with some people like, now, you know, you didn't read that link I sent you, you know, something like that. But I don't interact with people in a way for me to get that kind of energy. Things that was literally unprovoked. The person came into the main chat. There was obviously a language barrier there. They asked something about, they couldn't access something. And I said, are you sure you didn't blow the account? They said, no, they didn't blow the account. I said, well, you're using Tradeovate. Here's the link. Add the column, the auto liquidate column, and show me what it says. That was the last thing I said to this person in the main chat, right? So in the process of this conversation, they had already DM'd me a screenshot of their account in Tradeovate, right? But I didn't see it. Like, I saw that they DM'd me, but I didn't open the DM because I was studying, like I was reviewing my trades from yesterday and stuff like that. So it wasn't important to me, right? So hours later, all I did was go into the DM and say, hey, did you get everything figured out? The immediate response was, F you, N-word, Top Step is better. Well, I hope it's better forever for you. Because what? Yeah. People are crazy. Very crazy. But yeah, let me see. You might be joining the No Trade on Fridays. I was just in about 30 minutes too early for my trade. You missed the whole drama last night. Yeah. It wasn't even a public drama. It was in my DM, so. But yeah. But I would say, Amelia, like, look at, if you're not journaling, you need to be. But if you are using NinjaTrader, you can always go back to your trade performance, right? And you can actually, well, tell me if you're using NinjaTrader. Because if you're not, even if you're on Tradeovate accounts, you probably should if you're okay with switching platforms. Because one of the things that I do like about NinjaTrader is the ability to still see your trades on the chart way after, unless you clear the database, which I never do. And then also you have the trade performance tab where you can filter through. So you don't need a trade journal that you pay for or anything. You can literally use their trade performance tab. And I'll show you, like, you can literally filter through to see. So let me see. If I go to trades, generate, go to summary. No, it's not summary. I think it's analysis. And hold on. Let me make sure I don't have a trade here. I don't. All right. And you can typically, you should be able to go through and look at so you can kind of look through, right, and see like which days are you the most red on. Now, of course, I'm just red all over because we still developing the strategy, but you can do that. And you can filter to say, like, if I use this particular ATM strategy, you can filter based off of instruments. You can do whatever you want. But let me see. Here it goes. This is the one you want to do. At the bottom, you want to choose net profit. And so you can see which days were you green, which days were you red. You might look on your graph and see that, man, every Friday I'm red. Maybe there's something that you need to change. Maybe it's because if there's high impact news on a Friday, your trades work out a lot different than if there's no kind of news on Fridays. So you just kind of have to do a deeper dive into your trading to figure out, like, maybe it's Fridays, or maybe it's just how you're trading on Fridays. Maybe you're a little bit more impatient because it's the last day of the trading week. Just kind of never know. You kind of never know. My dad is black. My entire family side of my dad is black. People won't know that by looking at me. He's like, your skin color a little lighter than me. I'm not from the nicest area. So people using the N-word and using it freely is normal here. You could tell it's an offensive word versus a friendly. Exactly. It's like, it's funny because there was this video that I was watching a couple of weeks ago, and it was talking about censorship online, right? And how, you know, when, let's be honest, when Trump became president, I don't have a problem with his presidency. I don't really care about politics like that. But they were talking about how, you know, when he started running for president, when he became president, there just was a lot more racism, like openly with people and even online. And people just talk about how people should be censored online. And although I agree to a certain extent, I also do not agree. Because for me, I would rather know that you are this way than not know, right? Like, the reality is, with this particular guy who did this in my DMs, right? Thankfully for him, he was just a member, which meant that he had no tags in the Discord. So he never uploaded a certificate of passing, a certificate of payouts, like nothing, right? He did not upload any of those things. Had he done so, guess what I would have done? I would have found out. If he has any type of social media presence, I would have found out where he worked, sent it to his supervisor, and make sure that he's fired, right? Because even though that was a private situation, I'm pretty sure no matter where you are in the world, if you have any type of job where you're dealing with customers, you're dealing with other Black people. And why should that company risk you representing their company that way? They shouldn't. I don't see why people do some of the things that they do online. Do y'all know how many people have been fired because of the racist comments that they've made on social media? It's insane. And it's very well warranted. Because why? Why? It's literally pointless. Very freaking pointless. Ooh, I would have taken this sale if it wasn't so close to this rotation level. It's no point taking it right there because I would have to break even there anyway. And it looks like it's going to push through anyway. I wouldn't have even had time to break even. But I'm okay with sitting out of it. I think by the time the orders would have showed up on the chart, there would have been no way to break even. But that's like super dangerous to do though, because it could have went the opposite way where I wouldn't have had time to break even and we reacted off of that level and just pushed up. So for me with stuff like that, I'd rather just not take it. My entry was literally one tick away. It's no point in taking that. Okay, we push up too high. But yeah. You use Trade but you do journal old school by hand. I do too. So go back and look at your Friday trades. The journaling by hand is always going to be superior because you could be so much more detailed than you can be like in an online journal. And like even in my online journal, yeah, the screenshots are attached. I really only use it for the screenshots because I don't feel like taking screenshots manually, like on entry, on exit, is too much going on. Like yesterday I would have had like 15 trades. That's too much, right? Now if there was some kind of third-party indicator where I could just click a button to immediately take a screenshot, save it on my computer, that's totally different. But even then I'm gonna forget. So I mainly use it for that. And I do have a space where like I can journal certain things based on the session, and stuff like that. But I don't want to go into every individual line item and type in the description of what that trade was, right? I just want to categorize it as this particular setup and go about my day. So old school journaling will always be superior. Like I legit have so many journals over here to my right, and most of them are from like the last probably year. Yeah, probably year. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus my 11th one that I'm using right now. It's probably like a year and a half worth of stuff over there. But I do know I was journaling 4 years ago. That journal probably is downstairs. So if I ever wanted to find out like how I was trading at a certain period of time, definitely can find it somewhere. Definitely. Had this African friend, and then this is Texas white folk came and called him the N-word and wanted to fight. We got him kicked out the army. I'm of color, a little lighter shade. In high school, someone yelled at me to go back to my own country. I was born here. Oh my God, that is the worst. Because it's like the reality is most people are not they're not from like where they are as far as like their history, right? Everybody has been brought over from somewhere for the most part. You get what I'm saying? So what country are we talking about here? I've never been to any other, or I was never born in any other country. So what the hell are we talking about? That's my favorite. Because would you like to see my birth certificate? Because last time I checked, I'm from here. I'm from here. Impatient for sure. I want to be green and go full tilt on Friday. So now no more Friday. Yeah. Just don't even do it. Don't even do it. I told you guys I'm not surprised by this lack of price action. This is the second upper deviation level of the order flow VWAP. And like I said earlier, we don't trade higher than that very often. There has to be a lot of volatility and volume in the market for that. So not surprised that we've just basically hit a wall. If you look at the 5-minute chart, that's what that looks like. So not surprising at all, honestly. Kind of have the same goal as yesterday. If I could just get back to break even, I would be happy. Very happy. Very happy. Literally had no reason to even say that completely out the blue, because some people are just racist. They don't have to be provoked in any way, shape, or form. And it says more about you as a person that you have that so much hatred for someone you don't know because of the color of their skin. You have no interactions with this person. Even if you have somewhat of interactions, like, you have that much hatred for an entire group of people who's never done anything to you. You're an insane person. It's that simple. But I think for me, like, certain stuff doesn't bother me as much because I've been in psych for so long. Like, I really feel like my experience in psych was to help me in so many other areas of my life, whether it's relationships, friendships, even when it comes to like my desire to not have a relationship with my own father. Like, all of these things are based on my experience in psych and understanding how the mind works and just this different things like that. So it's like a lot of stuff I can just chalk it up, right? Because I just know that you ain't all the way there. But it's still crazy to just have to deal with certain things in this day and age. Because why? You have to think about writing down what trade you took and why it hammers in bad habits. I'll just watch you guys trade on Friday. Good morning, Rio. Yeah. Especially if your style of trading is more, I would say, discretionary, where, hold on, we got multiple levels there, so I can't do that. But if it's more discretionary, like, yeah, these levels might be here, but you might have to trade based off of a slight hunch and things like that. Definitely have to write down why you took the trades. Like, outside of writing down the technical aspect of it, writing down why you went on tilt, why you increased your contract size, why you did certain things or whatever. That's so important. Not just to know for now, but once you get where you want to get to, being able to look back at that time span, because you might think that you're doing XYZ because of this. But then later on down the line, once you're out of whatever situation you could be dealing with outside of trading, you can look back like, yo, I was really dealing with this over here and it was really affecting my trading. I was just telling someone the other day, like, the psychological aspect of trading is so important. I mean, yes, you need a good strategy. Yes, you need a strategy with good edge. Absolutely. But none of those things matter if the mindset part of it is not right. Like, there was a guy in the Discord who was tripping out because of, all the talk about dollar cost averaging and stuff like that. And Daryl Martin came into the Discord and said, if you add one time, it's fine. It's when people continuously add to a losing trade, which they do. Some of them do it publicly, right? He said that is where the problem is. The guy specifically said that he only adds one time. He said, sometimes I add a second time, but never more than that, right? So you're trading in a way that Daryl just told you publicly is okay. However, he's like, this talk makes me want to go on tilt. And I said, look, first of all, calm it down. I said, the psychological aspect of trading is what gets most people. I said, the fact that you want to go on tilt, or you think you're going to go on tilt because of talk on a social media platform about something that doesn't even pertain to you, because you just saw in black and white the CEO confirming that the way that you do dollar cost averaging by adding only one time is fine. I said, so if the talk in the Discord channels or on the YouTube channels, wherever it is that you're seeing this talk, if it affects you that much, you need to disconnect. Because why are we going on tilt and blowing accounts because of some talk from other traders when the CEO already told you you can do it? I don't get it. I don't get it. But like I told you guys, I've lost so much real money. Ain't no tilting me. I just can't. I've lost way too much real money. Way too much. All right. I was going to manually break even there anyway, but I think it pushed my break even. No, I did manually break even. All right. I had to because we have this buy rotation level right there. So had to hit the break even button. And it looks like I lost a couple dollars on the commission. Oh no, I didn't. All right, cool. Yes, over and over. Look, it's getting worse than the 30%. You just found prop firms like 6 months ago. You traded your own money for the last 4 years. The sim keeps me from doing stupid stuff in my personal accounts. I'm telling you. And the thing, like for me, someone asked me the other day in my DMs if I trade live, and I was like, I think now he was talking about live on YouTube, because then he asked me, what time I go live or whatever. But I thought he was asking me if I traded my live accounts, and I'm like, no, because I'm developing my strategy. I definitely would not risk my own money right now while I'm developing it. But there's other parts to that, right? So even after I get my strategy together, I'm probably still not going to trade my own personal accounts until I reach the threshold where Apex would ask me to go live, which it seems like the threshold is $1 million. So I got time. But at the same time, if you do really well, you could hit it even faster, because one of the mods, Nacho, he's not as active now, but he got to the $1 million. I think it was like 982 or something in like 18 trading days. So of course he was asked to go live. But for me, that would be the only time that I return back to a live account. Because I just see it as, why not use the leverage of props? Just me personally. I just would rather lose money in a sim account than my real money. However, I will tell you that I do have a plan to put money off to the side every month. Once I start getting to payouts, once I pay myself back from all the money that I've lived off of for the last 2 years, once I reach my goal of paying my mom's house off, I gotta say that low because she's in the next room. I want her to hear it. But after I reach those goals, I am gonna put a certain percentage off to the side, so that I can start trading a personal account at some point. But then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I'm actually on an old version of NinjaTrader where I can't even trade a personal account even if I wanted to. I can't. So it will take a lot for me to go back to trading a personal account. I just don't feel the need to. I don't think it's a problem with getting paid out every 2 weeks. And then if that's so much of a problem, you can also have a side account, with a prop where you can withdraw every week, or, more frequently. If you want to do it every 2 weeks in between the Apex paydays, you could do that. It's just so many endless possibilities. I just don't see the point. And I also don't see the point trading a live account with a prop either. I think anybody who does it is insane. Now, I kind of get it if you're trading with one of the props where, they push you live at $5,000. I saw one of the props does it at 5,000. There's a couple that do it at 10,000. Like, maybe do it. But like with Apex, no offense to Apex, because I love Apex, I don't see the point. Because if I'm going to be pushed to live once I get to $1 million in profit, what am I going to sit here and trade the live accounts for you for? Now I have to pay professional data fees. Now I got to give you a percentage. I don't even care if it's 5%. I don't know what the percentage is. But even if it's 5%, that's still 5% that should be in my pocket. So thank you for the opportunity. However long I'm suspended for declining to go live, I'll see you once my suspension is over. I would just go to a personal account. Why pay professional data fees? That's the biggest turnoff for me, to be honest. Let's see. 654. All right. I think we're going to push up too fast here, and we did. I wanted it to stall there for a minute. For which Discord channel? Are we talking about the Apex Discord channel, the official one? Yeah, you're not losing your money. I'm not going to lie, Amelia. When I first learned about props, right, one of my best friends, he is a trader. We actually got introduced to trading at the exact same time back in 2014. And we have been through the ringer together. We don't trade the same way. He doesn't even really trade right now. But we've just been on this journey together, right? And he found out about prop firms, I think, before I did. And I remember when he first came to me about it, I was like, I don't need any information about that. I am not going to be trading somebody else's money. I'm not doing it. I told him, I said, I don't feel comfortable with that. It's pointless. If I'm, struggling, because at the time I wasn't doing my 2-minute intraday swing trading. So I was like struggling to like figure things out. I'm like, if I'm struggling to figure things out with my own money, I would never want to risk someone else's money. Like, I didn't understand, because I was thinking about prop firms in like the traditional prop space. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So then eventually I had a mentor from when I was in network marketing. She actually was hooked up with, I think it was the owner of UProfits, maybe. I feel like it was UProfit. And so I was in that group. Never tried to get an account with UProfit or anything. At that time, I wasn't really focused on trading like that. But once I like really sat down and understood the payout structure, how things worked, and I was still trading on Sim and all the other stuff, I said, oh, sign me up. I signed up for my first Apex account May of 2022. At the time, it was a 100K account. There was no better discount than 50% off. And I just kind of kept that account for a while. Sometimes I would trade it. Sometimes I wouldn't. For a minute, I was more like sim trading, trying to figure things out. I also had an FTMO account that I was trying to figure out, like, which one do I want to trade, So that was kind of a thing. And then I think I, at one point, added a 25K account because I was like, I don't know about the 50K. But again, I was like real inconsistent with trading it. Was trying to develop a different type of strategy, even though I had the 2-minute strategy that worked. I didn't like being on the charts all day and all night, because I would be trading London and then wake up for New York and be on New York all the way until 2:00. And I was working overnight at the time. I was doing too much. Okay. So, eventually I had like a batch of accounts. And when the 60% sale came, I said, okay, we got a better monthly rate. Let's cancel these and get some new ones. I always only had like 1 or 2 accounts at a time, up until like probably June of last year. And so then I saw a 70%. We wiped all of those out, canceled them all, got new ones. Then the 80% came out, and I did the same thing. So literally with me having, because right now I'm trading accounts 17, 18, 20 was passed. Then I think I have 21 and 22 because I had 5 evals. Eventually I just got to that point because I'm like, all right, it's time to really focus on trading. This was September of last year. And I know in the beginning I'm going to be blowing these accounts super fast. And once I found out that you didn't have to pay for resets if you blow the account and you pay the renewal, I said, well, we'll just keep cycling these same 5. And in the beginning, I was filling those accounts in the same week, right? And so that's when I got to the point where I was able to get my renewal dates 1 week apart. And that was like literally the best thing ever. Me getting my renewals 1 week apart, because every Monday, while I was in the process of developing my strategy, every Monday I had a fresh new account that, had renewed, and now I can start trading it again, starting from scratch. So there were times where I only had 1 account to trade because I failed them all, but I was just waiting on the renewal. And then eventually, like, oh shoot, now I got 3 accounts that I'm trading at the same time. So maybe my strategy is kind of getting a little bit better, and then I would take some steps back. So yeah, it's been a process, right? But I was only paying like maybe $60 a month for 5 accounts. Since May of 2022, I've only spent maybe like $4,000, $3,900 on Apex. That's it. That's it. I'm very frugal. And, you know, I could have just been developing this on a regular sim account, absolutely. But I cared more about trading with the trailing threshold. And I still feel like trading a regular sim account and trading the eval, I mean, it can be different psychologically for most people. For me, not so much, because I'm still going to trade the same way. But I just felt like it was important for me to be able to trade with the trail and drawdown, especially while I was in the process of developing my strategy. And I feel like it worked out for the better. This week was probably, I would say like top maybe 3 best weeks in the last couple of months. I mean, I am slightly net positive. I didn't have as many changes to make to my strategy this week. Mainly with this week, I would have been way more positive if I didn't sit out of so many trades. And there were also a couple of setups that I wanted to add, but I just didn't have enough data. And this week kind of gave me the rest of the data that I needed. But this was like such a great week. I just hate that I wasn't able to fully take advantage of it. But I definitely feel like everything is moving in the right direction, and I'm excited about it, because not having to trade for 2.5 hours, journal for another hour, and then review for another 3 to 5 hours every day. It was basically like a full-time job, and that's not what she's here for. She's here to trade for 2.5 hours, journal for an hour, and go live the rest of her day. That's it. But yeah, that's a lot of trading. Yeah. I got tired of losing my own money. I've been all over the place. Started in futures, went to binary from there, binary options or Forex, one of the two. I can never remember which one I went to first, but I've traded futures, binary options, and Forex, and I have gone back and forth between the three. And Forex I never really liked because I felt like there wasn't enough volatility. I didn't like being up in the middle of the night because that's the time that the pairs that I like traded the best. It was annoying. I also did not like the fact that, you know, as far as leverage goes, you got your best leverage from overseas brokers that you shouldn't even really be trusting for real. What else? It just was so much. So I was just like, Then I always talk about this. I had a GJ trade that I was in, and I was trading on Trader's Way. The broker completely manipulated the data. I was in a buy. There was this huge spike down, clear stop hunt. We logged into our other brokers. That push down never even happened. Trader's Way did end up getting banned from Missouri, I remember at one point. And it was just that just was a crazy time. Crazy time. But I will always go back to Forex because it had such a lower cost of entry. I remember a course that I had purchased plus some mentorship that I had purchased. She was more of a futures trader. That's the one who I told you has like 10 years of experience, and she doesn't trade on Fridays. But she trades futures, but she started pushing her course more towards Forex because it had the lower cost of entry. You know, props were not really as popular and they were super expensive at the time, just like Forex props were. So I kind of would keep going back to Forex for that reason of having the lower cost of entry. And then with binary, I took a couple of courses from binary and for Forex as well. But with binary options, I traded on Nadex. It only took a couple of times for the contract to expire at my expiry price or one tick on the opposite side for me to say, you know what? We're done here. We're done here. No need. And I just always came back to futures. Always. Yeah, Forex. Honestly, the reason why Forex sounds so shady is because of the people. And it's so crazy. I was watching a video a couple of days ago with a guy who trades stocks. and he only trades for 2 hours a day. He said he trades the first 2 hours after basically the New York Open, and he's a multimillionaire from it, right? And so he was talking about why he trades stocks versus forex or futures and, binary and stuff like that. And so it was so crazy because he talked about how the surge in the trading space came around 2014. And that's literally when I was introduced to it. I started when, I don't know if you know who Q Banks is, but he's like really popular in the Forex space. I started when he did. So the story behind it is there was a bunch of us in an old network marketing company that I helped get shut down. But we were all members in this network marketing company. We could tell that the company was being a little bit shady. And so there was a group of guys, including Q Banks. There was another guy named Aaron Brooks Butler who's in jail, partly thanks to me because he scammed a bunch of us. And there was a couple of other guys. And they were all, not all of them, because I never really heard Q talk about some of the other guys and calling them scammers or whatever, but the guy who actually was a scammer was saying that Q was the scammer. So a lot of us like kind of shied away from him. But to see how well he's doing and knowing that he started around the same exact time that I did, and that's when it became really popular, like in the social media spaces. And that's kind of when I feel like retail trading like really started to like go crazy and gain a lot of popularity. And it's just because of the way that they marketed things. I mean, of course they marketed more like lifestyle type marketing, but it really showed the possibilities of day trading. Because whenever I did learn a little bit about day trading when I was in high school. I took a personal finance class, and we had to learn how to write checks, how to balance our checkbooks and budget, and part of the end of the course. And there was also another course I took in college that was the same way. We had to learn, like, do like this simulation for the stock market, kind of learning that. And then also I was like a nerd, so I liked different like life type games. And I remember I had this one game where you had to start off, choose a career, and you had to get a job, and then you had these different opportunities to invest in the stock market, and you had to like open up the chart and see it going up and down and figure out if you were going to buy, sell, take your shares out and stuff like that. But when it came to representation online before 2014, I never really saw Black people, really, honestly. And so when you don't have the representation, you just, of course, naturally, you just think, oh, it's not for me, it's not for us, type of thing. So when you started to see this huge surge on social media from the retail trading space of people who look just like you, it's like, oh, wait, that's a thing. I mean, of course, you have to be careful because there are people out here that fake everything, right? Yes. But even still, even if people are faking it, it kind of gives you that motivation to do it. And one of the things that I love about like being in the Apex community is before, you would see people that were successful trading, but it still seemed like it was so like it couldn't happen for you type of thing. And now you're in this community of everyday people who are getting these crazy payouts, and it's like, bro, it actually could really happen for me. It could, being able to speak every day to people who are withdrawing $20,000 a month, even $10,000 a month. It doesn't even have to be the big numbers, because I'm one of those people where if you can trade and make more money than you could at a job, hey, there's a win there. It's taking you less time, less energy. You don't have to deal with people if you don't want to. Your work environment doesn't have to be toxic, although the markets can be toxic sometimes. But why not? Go for it. My last job, I didn't even work full time, but if I worked full time, I would only earn about, and I say only, but it would be like $80,000 a year salary, right? If I have 20 50K accounts and I withdraw the max twice on them, there's my yearly salary. And I trade the equivalent. I only trade 12 and a half hours a week. That's the equivalent of one nursing shift for me. So to be able to make in a month, potentially, what I would make in an entire year as a nurse after all that schooling, and it take me significantly less time to do it. That's insane. It's insane. And when you think about things from that perspective, it's like, how could you give up? How could you? I can't. Because I just don't want to return back to nursing. I love patient care. I love helping people. But the work environment is toxic. Super toxic. Did I ever trade penny stocks? No. Nope. The only kind of stock trading I did wasn't even really trading. I was just investing long term. I have a stock portfolio right now. I haven't put money into it in years. Just because I could kind of see, I'm one of those people I could see down the street and around the corner. And I could see that, like, yo, your time is coming up in healthcare. The businesses that you have, you don't want long term because you really don't want to deal with people if you don't have to. So let's stop putting money over here and just start saving like a madman. And once you're ready to take a break from everything, from life, period, so you can just chill and bum it out for a little minute, then you have the money to do so. So that's what I did. Stop investing. I just saved a whole bunch of money. And although I've been living off my savings for the last 2 years, I had my business, but I never took money from my business. I let the money just continue to accumulate, basically. But even in the midst of all of that, I still have a whole bunch of money left. So I'm thankful. But eventually I do want to get back into long-term stock investments, though. I have a course that I purchased a minute ago. I haven't gone through it yet. But yeah, I've taken a couple of other courses when it came to long-term investing. But that was more so like how to read the charts to figure out when your best entry is for that long-term move. But I want to take, I bought a course from Wall Street Trapper. He's pretty popular on Instagram. I bought a course of his. I'm pretty sure it's the most basic course. I'm pretty sure because of the price I paid for it. But he teaches more of like how to do the research on the company and the CEO and, you know, things like that. So I feel like if I can learn that aspect of it, plus the ability to, you know, read the charts to know when the best entries are, man, I'm gonna be good to go. Apex trading aren't making millions of dollars a day. It's good money that adds up. Absolutely. Like seeing trades by Matt go from how he was performing with Top Step to coming to Apex, leveraging the 20 accounts, doing the base hits every day, you know, and building up such a huge buffer and being able to, I think he's at the point where he's taken out 120K, but I think he requested the next 20K, so 160K, but 120K has already hit his bank account. To see that is like crazy to me. It's crazy. I thought I was going to get into this trade. I am not, because of how it's reacting off my major level. So first I didn't understand what the fuss was about with Apex, then I did the math. Oh, that's what the fuss is all about. Exactly. And it's like, some people get caught up in the talk from other props, but this is my thing. Number one, hit dogs holler. Number two, if your company is that much greater than another, you don't have to do that. You just don't. You don't have to bash another company in order for someone to look at yours. So for me, it's like, I don't even, if a company is doing all of that, I'm not even interested. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just not interested, because for what? For what? And I get it, you know, there's competition everywhere, you know, but it's not even fun banter. You know, like what you might see when Wendy's put certain things on their billboards about McDonald's. Like, it's not fun, cute banter of 2024. It's just like literal hating, you know. And then when they try to talk about like, oh, Apex only gives you the ability to have 20 accounts because they just want your money more and da 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 da. Like, If you can't afford for your traders to have 20 accounts, just say that. It's okay. Just say that. But you don't have to do that. You don't. I don't get it. Used to watch him a few years ago. I don't think he ever got paid by the other prop firms. If he did, I'm pretty sure it wasn't much. I mean, when you're limited to only 3 accounts, 5 accounts. Yeah, he has come a long way. He has. And it's nice to see someone trading in a way that can be duplicated. And it's also nice to see someone be able to post big numbers, but still show you that it's from small numbers on a daily basis. Because I do think that sometimes people get so caught up in trying to reach these crazy numbers on a day-to-day basis, right? It's not necessary. Now, for me, I've said this plenty of times on my stream. You'll never see me stop myself at a certain profit target. I don't care about the base hits thing. And that's only because, statistically speaking, I don't need to do that. Right? My red days are red because I'm doing stuff wrong or my strategy is not right yet. Like I know what the overall edge of my strategy will be once I'm done with it. And also because I am trading a volume-based strategy, I cannot stop myself at a certain profit target because I don't know what the volume and volatility is going to be for the day. So I don't want to stop myself out when I'm at a certain profit target on a high volatility day and then have a day like today where I don't have very many setups. I mean, I've taken 5 trades. 2 of them I'm like kind of iffy on. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure that by the time I go back and look, those are now going to be invalid. It just was like real small, weird stuff that doesn't happen often. So I'll just have to go back and look because I haven't been paying attention to what happens when the chart's set up that way, right? So if I take those 2 trades away, I've only taken 3 trades today. 3. So, but yesterday was like a 15 trade day. The day before that was like 10 or 11. The day before that was like 8, I think. So if I stop myself all week at, let's say, $250 in profit, that $250 from yesterday would be wiped out by the negative $200 today. And now basically I'm only net positive for 3 days out of 5. When if I just took all of the trades all week in this 2.5 hour span, I don't know what my strategy does after 11 o'clock. I don't really care because I don't want to be on the charts after 11 o'clock. Right. But if I took every single trade all week and didn't take some of my mistake trades and all of that stuff, after the first 4 days of this week, my P&L would be positive $2,500 per account. Don't you think that's better to take a $200 loss day than only being up $1,000 for the week and taking a $200 loss day? Like, why would I stop myself? But that's all based off of your edge of your strategy, though. That's things that you have to figure out yourself. You know, I think for a lot of people, they would probably fare better with their strategies if they stop trading so late into the session. Unless you're coming back like after lunch when there's the surge around that certain time in the afternoon, the volume dries up so much. What's the point? Unless you're scalping and you like scalping in very choppy markets because you like scalping ranges and stuff. But if you are someone who likes to trade more of like trending type of trades, you probably don't need to be on the charts after 11 Central Standard Time. You just don't. What's the point? Why even subject yourself to, number one, watching paint dry, because that's boring. But also, just statistically speaking, you probably are not doing as well after a certain time. Like last year when I was trading crude oil, right? And I was trading other instruments as well. There were certain instruments that I would stop trading at a certain time of day because I saw that like during this particular time, it doesn't work as well. It just doesn't. So why keep going? So I would stop crude oil at a certain time, stop the Nasdaq at a certain time, stop the ES at a certain time. When I came back in the afternoon, I would start trading the Nasdaq and ES first, like at 12 o'clock, I think it was. But then I wouldn't start trading crude oil until I think it was either 12:30 or 1 o'clock. And then I would stop everything again at 2. Now, the only reason I don't trade afternoon now is because I don't like a split schedule. I don't want to come back to the markets. Once I close my charts, that's it. But those are things that you have to like look at, because sometimes it's not your strategy, it's just the time of day that you're trading. Not every strategy works well in every single market condition. Tops up bad mouthing on the daily. I stopped watching them. It's a mess. So it's ranting and raving every single day. Then they start talking about being the same, doing the same. Take what the market gives you on any day. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just got to take what it gives you. And that's why I don't stop. Like I said a couple days ago, I think people seeing me lose on stream was stressing them out more than me. I'm not bothered. I would be more bothered if I feel like my strategy is 100% and I haven't made any mistakes and I've taken all of the valid trades, but yet I still ended up negative $400 for the day. That will bother me, because historically, so far, after months of data, and I pulled trades from different times of the year. Like if I want to let's see how my strategy would have worked out in the first week of October. Like I'll just randomly do that sometimes because I know that market conditions change. However, volume patterns typically do not change. Volatility can change, but volume patterns so far from what I've been seeing over the last 4 months of trading volume and putting the strategy together, volume patterns don't really change. Right? So for me, if my strategy can work well in low volatility, in high volatility or volume markets, I've reached my goal. That's all I care about, honestly. Because so far, there are so many people who have strategies that they say like, oh, my strategy only works well in this type of market condition. It only works well in this type of market condition. So part of this is a game to me that I'm trying to beat for myself, not for anybody else, but for myself, to like prove to myself that I'm smart enough, that I'm analytical enough to create something that can work in any market condition, because we don't know what the market conditions are going to be for that day. I know many people who love scalping in choppy markets, and as soon as that one turning point in the day, because it don't happen at the same time every time, as soon as that one little turning point happen, they lose accounts because now it turned from choppy to trending, or they like trending days and they keep taking these trades. And then at some point in time, the market just starts chopping and they lose accounts. So for me, this is a game that I'm going to beat. I'm going to beat. Are we still? Yep. There's just so much resistance from that deviation level. I mean, every time we've tried to keep pushing, we just eventually fell back down. You're done after London close. If my strategy worked well during London, I probably would prefer to trade London and never trade the New York session, only because I'm not a morning person. Getting up every morning to trade, whether I'm streaming or not, is hard. I really don't like going to bed before 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So waking right back up at 8 is insane. But I've always been a night owl my entire life. My entire nursing career, I worked a night shift. So to try to like completely switch this to being up consistently at 8 o'clock in the morning, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. You love scalping during power hour. You make the most money. See, you found your edge. You found what time you like to trade. You could just be consistent with it. And I know, like for me, as much as I'm not a morning person and I would rather be asleep right now, I know that no matter how much sleep I get, I can be on the charts from 8:30 to 11 and not, my brain won't be foggy. Like, I was discombobulated yesterday. I actually woke up too early, but I was discombobulated yesterday from a whole bunch of different stuff. And that's why I missed so many trades and stuff like that. But I know that even if I get 2 hours of sleep, which I have done, but I think even last week it happened to me. I had 2 hours of sleep and I was on the charts. I didn't make any mistakes. My brain wasn't foggy. But baby, as soon as I was done journaling, I went right to sleep because I'm going to take my nap. But I know that even like if I'm on vacation somewhere, no matter what I'm doing, I know that I can dedicate 2.5 hours a day plus the hour for journaling. I know no matter what, I can do that. Anything past that, I'm not going to be consistent with. I'm not going to be consistent with a split trading schedule. I'm not going to be consistent with sitting on the charts until 2 o'clock every day or going from straight open to close. I am trading to buy my time back from corporate America and just buy time back from my own life so I can enjoy my life. I am not going to sit here and have trading hours that basically treats this like another job. I'm not doing it. That defeats the entire purpose of this. The entire purpose. You'll stay up reading until 2 a.m. tonight. I usually game, but even like if I don't game that day, I just cannot fall asleep. And if I fall asleep early, like if I fall asleep before midnight most of the time, midnight to 1 o'clock, I'm going to wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be looking at the walls trying to figure out what's going on. Why am I awake? And I won't be able to go back to sleep. Good morning. Good morning, Chuck. You just came in to say Tesla. I haven't even seen trenches this morning. You tried trade in London and got great setups, but your sleeping habits were wrong. Oh yeah. Especially if you are somebody who trades London and then have to wake up for work, or you're waking up to trade the New York session too. Nah, baby, just choose one. Just choose one. And my choice will always forever be the New York session. Forever. As much as I don't like being awake, but I just feel like that volatility, especially like the first hour to hour and a half of the market being open, is just bar none. I love it. Yeah, I honestly, we got 30 minutes left. I would not be surprised if I don't get another single trade, but I wouldn't be upset about it because I'm still net positive a few dollars on both of the accounts. I would be satisfied with it. I would. All right, let me see something. That disappeared when that came about. It's in front, but I can't trade that. All right. I was initially looking for the buy here, but we pulled back too far. So still just too much selling pressure, resistance up here. So we'll see if we can push down below this 819 level and start actually trading down. When this changed trends, did we trade below it? Yeah, we did. Okay. I'm gonna redraw that song because I want to see it. Green is green. Exactly. My best friend has had to remind me of that a lot on this journey. A lot. A lot. Did we hit? Yep. We touched the prior high right there, so, and it didn't set up how I would want it to anyway, so that works out. Can't take any sales right here because I really need for it to probably get as low as below the VWAP. All right, or we can just try to push up again. That works too. Whatever you want to do, market. Move that out the way. Let's see if we push down. Yeah, I would love to see us just trade below here. And maybe I can get some sell setups. Now later on the P&L, what went wrong today in a nutshell. I've taken 5 trades. I can show you guys. I was wicked out to the tick, the very first trade. If I don't scroll back too far. My eyes are not the best, so I can't really see that far over there. But I'll show you. All right, so here's the first trade. Literally wicked out to the tick to push down, so I was stopped out there. The second trade I won, I remember it was a sell. So we won that trade, right? This trade lost. I was wicked out pretty bad for it to go up. In a nutshell, with this trade, the price of the open of this reversal candle was the exact price of my minor level. For the last couple of weeks, I've been toying whether I wanted to treat that as a wick or it going through the body, because it seems to be kind of up in the air right now. But I think other variables of the other trades that worked out, it made it a little bit different. So with this, it touched no other level than my minor level. And so what I have been doing recently is, like the last couple of days, whenever that happens, I'll literally zoom super far in to see if there was a little bit of space between the open of the bar and my minor level or not, and kind of use it based off of that. But I think I'm going to go back to, like, if that happens, we'll just count it as it going through the body of the candle, because had I counted this trade as it rotating through the minor level going through the body of the candle, I would have never taken the trade. So that's that trade. And then I think another trade was kind of like a real iffy one, where I'm still trying to figure out which variables of the trade take precedence over the others, because that does matter. And so I remember it was a buy off of the rotation level. If I can find it. I don't have any trades setting up right now, so I can show you if I can find it. It was here. So my minor trend changed from a downtrend to an uptrend in the midst of this ABC pattern, right? And so typically I treat that, like the volume pattern for that takes precedence over anything else. I don't care if there's a double bottom, double top, middle, like that takes precedence over everything else. Well, one of the rules that I do have is when price rotates over a buy rotation level for a buy or a sell rotation level for a sell, then hold on, wait. When that happens, I do still typically take the trades. But I think that what needs to happen is the color change still takes precedence, basically. So just like little stuff like that, that has been the cause of today. So nothing that I'm like super concerned about, that I really care much about. It just kind of sucks. That is just stuff that doesn't happen often. So I just didn't really know. All right. Then that trade right there, that's just a valid trade. There's nothing I can do about that one. But yeah, that's really it. So out of the 6 trades now, there were 2 that just were real iffy. I can't do anything about being wicked out to the tick on the one, because I'm not changing my I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change my stop loss or anything. I get wicked out to the exact tick like maybe once every couple of weeks. We can't do anything about that. Because it's like, why change your stop loss for something that doesn't happen often? So now you're adding additional ticks to the regular trades that you're just going to lose. I don't think it's worth it, at least not for now. If anything, I would just add one extra tick to my stop loss, but that probably won't happen. So, but yeah, that's it. Just a couple of nuances. The one thing that I am happy about is this week I just didn't have a lot of changes to make, really. So stuff like that is progress for me. I mean, now I'm just slightly negative per account for the week, but I sat out of tons of trades this week. I mean, tons. And almost every single one won. Like full wins, not break evens. So a day like today, whatever. So in my head, if I take away the 2 losses of the trades where like I'm iffy about and more than likely it's just not even going to be a thing, I would only be down like $110, which would mean that I would be below my goal of being under 250, and we would just have to take that L. And I would just have to be okay with it. I was hoping here, because we were rotating over the prior high, I was hoping that we would be able to like hold this, but sometimes when I have noticed, and I don't have this as a rule or anything, but I have noticed that like if price does this where like it wicks off of the level on the previous reversal bar, and then the entry bar, it goes through the body of that candle, I have noticed that my strategy doesn't like that very much, but it doesn't happen often enough, and it doesn't happen like a lot of times it does win. So I can't really have a rule for it just yet. I know for sure it can happen on a VWAP with no problem, but I'll just have to look at if it rotates like that over regular levels, like the prior high or low or the prior open or close, stuff like that. I'll have to see. I would have to see. All right, we pushed too far up at this point. Because now we pushed too far off of the VWAP. So you're a body candle guy for sure, but stay aware of the wicks. Yeah. See, I like when things wick off of stuff way more than it going through the body of the candle, but like I have certain there's certain setups where if it reacts on like my major level and the first candle wicks and the second one goes through the body, I can't take it on certain setups, but certain setups I can. So yeah, it just kind of depends. So that could be something that I look at this weekend. Who knows? Knowing me, I probably won't, because it just doesn't happen enough. Like I know if that happens like that over like one of the support or resistance levels, it makes no difference. Now I can say the other thing, and what I kind of don't like about the sales right now, would be that we cleared this first part of the zone, but not the second. So there is buyer pressure here, right? I don't currently have any rules that say like, oh, you can't take sales until we clear the level either way. But also in the midst of this downtrend right here, my minor trend level finally moved back in front of my major level. So that could also be the cause of how we kind of resisted there, because it's almost like a MA cross, kind of a little bit, but not so much. But like when I used to trade MA crosses, I would never trade the very first pullback after the MA cross if it was so close to where my entry would be. just because like if there's a trend change like that, I need more, I don't want to say data, but I need more price action to happen before like I'm confirming that that cross is really a thing. So that could be the cause of this. Who knows? Who knows? I also just have to remember that not every loss has a reason. The volume pattern can't be consistent literally 100% of the time. So, but I probably will look at that though. Probably will. So let me see. Trying to see what my balances were Friday. So I'm down like 70. Can I count today? I'm down like $100 for the week on the middle account. And then this account, I'm down like 100 and no, I'm just down for like $90. I think there was a trade this week where it broke even on that middle account, but it took profit on the follow or the leader account. So I think that's why there's a little slight discrepancy. So being down that much for the week, I that's progress. It's progress. What was I? I think I was negative Monday, positive Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday, negative Friday. 3 green days for the week is progress. For sure. We got 15 minutes left. I can almost assure you I won't have any more trades. Especially if we just continue to kind of consolidate between these zones. I ain't gonna have nothing else. Let's see if we can finally push through. Wait, do I have that at 32? Oh, it needs to be 33. Oh, wait, no. All right, let's go back. All right, now we got the push through. Let's see if we get a pullback for me to be able to take the trade. I would want to see a pullback before we hit the major resistance level up there. So let's see what happens. Is there a consistency rule for Apex if you wish to trade 20 days instead of 10? So, yep, like Amelia said, it's always the 30% no matter what. Good morning, Reinhard. How are you? Good morning, good morning. So yeah, your consistency, just remember that the consistency rule goes from approval to approval, not request to request. That is super important to note. This trade is a little risky. But it's been working out, so if it goes, I'm gonna risk it. It's evals, who gives a shit? Well, that's if it pushes up in time. It's starting to reject a little too long. 616. I'll tell you guys why it's risky after it either invalidates itself or goes. But basically, it's reacting off of the top of this zone. And for a long time, I did not take trades that did that. But I think that what the actual problem was my volume requirements at the time were incorrect for what I was looking for. So I think that's really what it was, because the same trade set up this morning and I didn't take it. I sat out of it. And then it also happened yesterday. Well, now it invalidated itself, so it's fine. It happened a little bit different. It wasn't a higher low, higher high, higher low. The trade that happened this morning and the one yesterday. No. It didn't happen this morning. It happened once yesterday and once the day before. I took it on sim the day before yesterday. I did not take it yesterday because I wanted to see it work out again. But basically, when my bias changes like this, for a long time, I just was not taking the first trade, even if it wicked off the top. I just wouldn't take it. And yeah, come to find out, it wasn't the fact that the bias changed and it touched the zone, because technically that would be a good level of support if it acts off the top of it. It was just that my volume requirements for that particular setup were incorrect. So, but the trade just ended up invalidating itself anyway. Still won, but and it makes sense why it can wick off the top and work out just fine. Lo-fi music needed in here. I have some going. Can you not hear it? Amelia Short? Not yet. Remember, I can't take counter trend divergence on Fridays, so I can't take any shorts. Except like if this was a lower high to a higher high divergence for the sale, I can take it. But on Fridays, I cannot take the higher high, or lower low, lower high divergence trades. Yeah. No. No need to be sorry. But yeah, so that's the one setup that I cannot take on Fridays. At first, I thought I couldn't take any counter trend divergence, but then I think it was last Friday or maybe the Friday before, when I wrote down all the counter trend divergence trades from all the Fridays of data that I had so far, I realized it was just this divergence that doesn't work. Just that one. But yeah, Reinhard, you can't hear the music? I make sure the music's playing because although I can be talkative sometimes, I get tired of talking. You can't hear it? Okay. I know one of those weeks I did have the music up a little bit louder, so if you want me to turn it up louder, I always can. All right, we got 10 minutes left. Okay. Can we get a pullback? for the sell. Maybe, yes, no. 381. No, we can't. Why is this stream doubling? That is so weird. Every time he says something, it doubles. Do I have him open twice? Oh, that's why methodical got off. So it automatically pushed me to Husk stream. Because I'm like, why do I hear him double? All right. No sell. We just pushed off of 853.75. So I don't want to trade going back to that, towards that. So let's see if we can create like a buy pullback right here. Somewhere in this area, like before it reaches 872. It's what I would like to see. 307. Although I do not want it to be a 1 bar pullback though. And now it pulled back too far. Never mind. False alarm. False alarm. There's a YouTuber that his music is so loud you could barely hear what he's saying. Only lasted like 5 minutes of watching him. I think I know who you're talking about. Are you talking about Brett Simba? I think it's his name. I feel like he's the one. I went into his stream and I said, oh my God, I feel like I'm at a rock concert. I gotta go. I gotta go. Because I'm pretty sure you could tell I'm a pretty chill person. I don't have a whole lot of energy. You'll get spurts here and there. But YouTubers who like have too much going on, it's like overstimulating for me. Because I'm so chill all the time. See, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I get why some YouTubers don't play music. But especially, you know, in the beginning when you're first starting out, you don't have a whole lot of people that are interacting with you and stuff. So it's like just to help with some of the downtime, I guess. I just would prefer to have music playing. When you don't really have a whole lot of stuff to interact with in the chat and stuff. But yeah, and plus just because I just get to the point where I just don't want to talk and I'm just focused or whatever, I just rather have something than like nothing. I want to take this trade so bad. And it's setting up exactly how I want. But this green line being here makes it a little iffy. But let's see if we could just push through it. Who knows? If it doesn't, that's okay. Like I said, we're on evals. Because that was a resistance level that turned support, so it can go back to resistance. But we'll just see if it's enough steam to push through it. There's a lot of volume in that reversal candle, so it should be able to push through it, but my best friend called me and he didn't answer when I got back. Must have been on accident. Yeah, I mean, it looks exactly how I want it to look. It's just that damn level being there. There we go. Oh, I was down almost 300. Okay. See, 180. Yeah, it kind of sucks because I'm basically at this point without those two trades that happened at 8:37 and 9:18. I think I would basically be break even minus commissions. And actually, I would be a little bit more than break even. I would be up like $5, $5 to $10 on each account. But after commissions, I would be negative. So, yeah, those would be the two things that I look at this weekend. I still don't know about looking at this because I don't know if I care enough about this. But definitely the other two for sure. And it's simple stuff. It's very, very simple stuff. But we're back under 250. So we're back under the goal. The negative goal. I was definitely questioning this. I'm not going to lie. But I mean, if the level was red, I absolutely wouldn't have taken it because it was so close to it. But whenever I'm getting into buys and I'm about to hit like a buy rotation level, as long as it's not brand new, then I don't care about breaking even. I don't need to because it's a support level. It can be acting as resistance, obviously, because we're below it. But I don't have any rules to like break even on a buy when I hit this level. So that's why I was just like, hell, let's just take it. Everything else is perfect on the trade. Why not? But yeah, Brett will break out in rap at times. I ain't never tuned in long enough to even see him break out in a rap. I ain't gonna lie. But man, he was bobbing his head and just laugh. Oh, he had to scream to be over the music. Patrick is another one where, look, I respect everybody's hustle, but he got too much energy for me too. Too much energy. And I also just I don't know, I feel like yes, the streaming is for entertainment purposes, right? Sure. However, I also feel like there is a moral duty for you when you reach a certain level of success to make things as realistic as possible, right? You have a bunch of people following you. You have a bunch of people, and people are easily influenced. So if they see you maxing out contracts and getting payouts, or even if you're not getting payouts, but you know, if they see you maxing out contracts and having a $50,000 day, of course they're going to want to do it. Now, from the Apex standpoint, from the business side, that's great, especially if they're using your affiliate code. That's even more great, right? However, my goal personally is to show people the reality of trading. I want to be able to show you the reality of the struggles. Now, my struggles, a lot of people probably wouldn't have to go through because most people are not trying to put a strategy together from scratch. I never traded volume ever in my life before I started to put this strategy together right before New Year's. So I had to learn something totally from scratch. I had to learn volume, what it even means, how it matters. There's not a lot of Renko data out there, you know, for me to study, but I've been trading Renkos for so long that my only issue was trying to figure out the settings that I wanted to use and trying to put those two things together where you don't have a lot of data in regards to Renko trading. You don't have a lot. I mean, there's a lot of data regarding volume, but you'll never see them combined. So I'm literally doing this on my own. A lot of people are not doing that. You know, they're purchasing courses or mentorship, whatever. So they get to bypass this struggle. But I still wanted to show that online, even though initially when I came to YouTube, I thought my strategy was together already. That's before I switched to volume. But it didn't bother me to show people the losing streaks. I went like 2 straight weeks without a green day before. Like, that's why I'm transparent. I show the P&L. Like I told people the last couple of weeks, at some point when I get to a certain level with payouts, my P&L is going to go away, and it's not to no longer be transparent. I'll probably show the P&L of one account, but that's just because transparency. I'm a Black woman who lives in a dangerous city, and that's just that. And the culture can be crazy when people are jealous or envious or just whatever. People want what you have, right? So that is the only time that I will not be transparent when it comes to that. But at that point, I do plan to like do a week in my trade journal type of thing, like content that only people like us would even consume. So no one would ever pay attention to how much I make, if that makes sense, if they're not in this culture, in this environment. But I just feel like there's too many influencers online who don't show the reality of trading, and it's very detrimental because with this being one of the only low cost of entry opportunities for you to be able to change your life, the life of people around you, your family tree, the lives of your children, grandchildren, and everything past that, you should want to show people real shit. That's just me. Because everybody who's an influencer, whether you're on a smaller level or a bigger level, you know how much and how easy people are influenced, right? So why not influence them in a positive way? I'm going to tell you guys right now, you'll probably never see me trade more than, I guess it depends on how large I grow my cushion, because at some point, I know risk management. I've been in this game a long time, right? I'm not going to be sitting here risking 1% of my available drawdown. I would never do that because I might as well trade a personal account. So to a certain extent, I'm going to leverage more because that's what props are for, right? But you're not going to see me trading 10 contracts. When I accidentally passed my first eval, yeah, I definitely maxed out the contracts to 4 because I was purposely trying to fail it so I could reset it. And I promise y'all, you can go look at the video that I put out when I did it. I felt disgusted. I felt like I was cheating. I felt like people really do this. Why would you put yourself through this? And I was just on 4 contracts. I can't imagine 10 or 15 or whatever the max is for some of the higher accounts. You guys will never see that ever. So I just rather show the journey from the start. You can see every dang on red day I've had. And eventually you're going to see less and less. Hell, it was less this week. I only had 2, right? But you'll see less and less. Eventually, yeah, I'll probably vlog when I'm vacationing and stuff because that's also the reality of mastering this skill. But I don't want to show anything that's unrealistic for the average person, right? I could have been doing this on 20 accounts and trying to show this, and for what? I even tell people, I'm thankful for people who use my code, but I tell people, if you are not like succeeding yet, stop buying all these dang accounts at the same time. I've even told people, stop resetting your accounts. I get a commission off of resets if you use my coupon code. And I tell people, don't reset that account. It resets on its own. You failed it, wait into the renewal. Because I just feel like I have this certain moral responsibility and ethical responsibility. I don't reset, so I don't want you to reset either. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, he definitely, listen, Janelle, he gives off a-hole vibes. There's quite a few men who stream who gives off a-hole vibes. And there's a few who got a lot of eyes on them right now, who I would not be surprised if some stuff pops off in the next 60 days. Because there is a way, there's a fine line and a thin line between motivating people and just being completely arrogant, right? There's a huge difference, but it can be a fine line. Sometimes you can teeter that line, right? I, as well as most other women, I think it's an ego thing with men. No offense to the men in the channel right now, but it's an ego thing. Like, the arrogance that I see from a lot of men in this space is absolutely disgusting. I don't like the way that people talk to people. I just don't like it. You know, if you're a streamer, just ban them. Like, just ban them. Y'all are not going to see me ask people for, show me your payouts. You're not going to see none of that. Y'all have seen me go in on a couple of people because I've had people come into my stream and tell me how to trade. I even had one guy, like, I had to tell him, look, I've been trading for 10 years off and on. I'm not a newbie. The only thing I'm new to is this strategy that I'm trying to put together. Okay? I just showed y'all 4 years ago, I had an $800 day. I took 6 trades, didn't lose not one. I'm not new. And as soon as I told him that, he then pumps his chest to tell me, well, he has 20 years of experience. I don't give a shit. Now I got to get ignorant with you because what is the purpose of that? I'm here for entertainment purposes. I'm here to show people my journey. I'm here to show people a totally different way of trading. How many streamers do you see trading Renko charts? None. How many black women do you see live streaming trading futures? I think I'm the only one. I know there's a couple that will, put out content. They'll record their stream and then put out content. But how many black women in futures do you see live streaming? I don't think there's any. I could be missing some. So there's different reasons why I'm streaming, right? There's different audiences that I am specifically, I wouldn't say targeting, but trying to show that, like, yo, there are people out here who are just like us, who are on this journey. Get to it, right? I don't need to be an a-hole. That's not even in my nature. I can be a mean person, absolutely. You take me to that level, absolutely. But, like, just the assholeness of some of these men is just disgusting. I just don't understand. I don't. But yeah, Patrick makes most of his money from affiliates. He made a video. I don't know if you saw it, but it was titled struggling as a part-time day trader or something. Now, I'm all about transparency, right? Cool. Now, I can say I feel like he didn't really become transparent like that until Nutty Bar was calling him out a while. I think it was like last year. I feel like that's when he really became transparent. But either way, to tout yourself as the number one YouTuber, the number one futures day trading YouTuber, and then make a video about struggling as a part-time day trader is crazy. It's crazy because it's too many contradictions here, right? And then once he got transparent about how much he withdrew, I think it was like 40,000 or something last year. It's like, what? Clearly, people can see where you make your money, and it's no problem. I feel like if you are influencing people, you absolutely should be compensated for it, right? But think about how many people were looking up to him, thinking that he's making all of this money trading and trying to trade like him, or thinking that he's so knowledgeable, but you got $40,000 in payouts. Hey, it's more than me. So I'm going to give props where props are due, but I'm also not the number one day trading YouTuber either. And again, it's no shade to him. I don't have any animosity, no beef with anybody. But certain things just look crazy. So then, he was taunting Nutty because Nutty Bar Trading, I love him. He's so cool. He went a whole year before he got his first payout. I think he said he spent about $29,000 on evals and stuff. In one of his videos, he revealed that his very first payout was $30,000. So he made in one payout almost what you made in payouts for the entire year the previous year, right? So then when he makes the video about struggling, he then points out that people like Nutty Bar have gotten payouts. And I think he even said trades by Matt or whatever. But do you know how crazy you look that you taunted this man, who's probably one of the nicest people on YouTube? You taunted him for not being successful. And now you're almost shouting him out in your video for being somebody who got payouts? Come on, bro. Come on. Like, what? Oh, yeah, the Photoshop is insane. Listen, when I found out you could Photoshop videos, that's how the guy who's in jail, I think he should still be in jail. I forgot what his sentence was. But the guy that I helped get put in jail for scamming a bunch of us, he was like Photoshopping videos, like his videos we're thinking he's logging into his bank account to show how much money he's made from trading. It was fake. It was fake. Oh yeah, the ego is crazy. I can promise y'all, I don't care how much money I make, I'm going to be the same person. I can call every one of my best friends. My longest standing friendship is 24 years. And she will tell you, I am the same person at almost 34 years old that I was at 10 years old. Like my personality, you know what I mean? Of course, I've grown and evolved as a person. But I've made money before. Like before coming to trading, before coming to YouTube, I helped start a multi-million-dollar network marketing company. I was at the top of multiple companies. I have managed teams of thousands of people. I think that sometimes, this is not everyone, but I feel like some people you can just tell, like, you probably weren't the popular kid. You probably weren't the jock in school. You probably didn't have a lot of attention growing up, because why do you act like this, right? Last week or the week before, I showed on stream how much I've been winning my entire life. I was the star athlete. I had all these things going for myself. So when I get to where I want to be when it comes to the YouTube space, when it comes to trading, there's nothing that's going to change. I've already had the experience of those things. I have another channel, you guys, that has over 18,000 subscribers. I completely abandoned it. I didn't even do what I could have done to actually build the channel. I wasn't posting daily or a whole bunch of times a week like the other girls who were starting around the time that I was. I would barely be there. And I still grew to 18,000 subscribers without really even trying. But it was my personality. It was the information that I was giving. It was those things. Like, those things matter to me. I just want to inspire people, because the world sucks sometimes. And life sucks sometimes. So being able to see a person that you can relate to, who's an everyday person, who is very open about any kind of struggles, whatever. Just last week, I think it was, we were talking about like some of my life stories with my dad. Like, I'm just that kind of person, because I feel like when you come across people who you can relate to, who are open about certain things, it helps you to realize, like, yo, this is a person that I like, who, you know, I look up to, or who I feel like is my homegirl online, and she's not making it look like it's easy, because it's not. It's not. I want to show people I struggle just like anybody else. And when I reach a certain level of success with trading or with this streaming thing, you can go back and like, yo, that was my homegirl. I remember when she just started out or whatever, and she's always been relatable. Like, that's the only thing that I literally care about. That's it. It took you 2 years to find me. He finally admitted he makes money YouTube ads, Discord, and oh yeah. Let me tell y'all something. The affiliate commissions can be insane. There is a YouTuber who makes a video every month, and he talks about, like, you know, how much he makes on YouTube and how much he makes from affiliate commissions. And he had, I think, like a little over 2,000 subscribers, and his affiliate commissions between the props were $4,000 for that month. So imagine, I mean, the man's buying a McLaren. Imagine what the affiliate commissions are looking like. And again, you should be compensated. You're influencing people, but dang, can we get some trading money going? Yeah, Nutty is on a mission trip. He has been posting in his community tab his updates every day on, I think he still has 3 PAs left, if I'm not mistaken. So he's been making some pretty good progress on them. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're all over the payout threshold now. I think he said he was going to be pretty aggressive on them, which he lost some accounts being aggressive because the $85, because he did the monthly fee. So that was coming up on like 12 accounts or something. We did 11 or 12 accounts, and he was like, well, I'm going to be gone for a week and I can't trade it, which means that he won't, well, he thought he wouldn't be able to trade on the trip, but he has been. But he was just like, it's okay, I'll be a little aggressive, and if I lose accounts I will. But I think he has 12 evals that he can convert as soon as he gets back. But yeah, oh yeah, the scamming is crazy. You have a great weekend as well, Rio. But yeah, the scamming just online period. It's just so many things that you can do to deceive people. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. But you know what? I think that as more transparent YouTubers come about, it's going to force some of the other people who are not transparent to be transparent. It's just going to force it. Because, like, I'll give you a good example. In one of the network marketing companies that I was a part of, and I was in the top like 0.5% in that company, some things were going on with the company where I could tell that they were doing something to like cause people to lose volume, to lose income and stuff. And I had things recorded. Like, there's no way that someone I'm not financially attached to, our trees are not even close together in regards to the company structure. It's no way that we're losing volume at the same percentage. Like, statistically, that's impossible. We're not even financially attached. So there were certain things like that, right? So I make this video on YouTube. People still talk about it to this day. It was on blogs and everything, like network marketing blogs. And I came out to You Can Hate Me Now, but I Won't Stop Now, that song. And so I just talked about like why I left the company. By that time, I was helping to put together another company, but we started putting that company together because I knew that this company was doing stuff wrong morally. So I basically was telling them some of the stuff that was going on without being too detailed, because I did still have people in that company that I liked and I didn't want to affect them too much, but I'm transparent. So we got to tell the story, right? And so literally I kept saying in the video, if anybody tells you not to listen to me, not to believe me, ask them to show you their back office. Because if I'm lying, your back office will show that I'm lying, right? So there was this guy who was cyberbullying me. He had a crush on me, a big crush. I didn't want him. He was cyberbullying me. And he just kept saying that I was lying and all these other things. But he was cyberbullying me to the max. That's why, like, some of the people that's come into my streams before during this process, I've been cyberbullied by people I actually know in real life. I could just block you on here. I don't care, you know. But anyway, so eventually people started asking him, well, show me your back office then. If she's lying, show me your back office. He was forced to just shut up because he couldn't be transparent. And I feel like it's the same way with the YouTubers, and at least the YouTubers right now. And a lot of the more popular YouTubers who are not really streamers, you know, they really put out content in regards to like strategies and stuff like that. They'll make the same videos every year about a supply and resistance strategy and things like that. And it's because they appeal to newer traders, right? But the more people who are coming on and actually live streaming, and then it definitely helps that so many people are transitioning to futures, because these people don't have any futures content whatsoever. But the more people who are super transparent, like myself, it's going to force these scammers to, well, they might have to start photoshopping a little bit harder. But it's going to be like, why should I listen to you when this person over here live streams? So I know that they're making money and you're just telling me that you are. You won't show broker statements. You won't show this. You won't show that. I feel like the industry is going to continue to clean itself up, especially with so many people leaving Forex, because Forex is the most scammy. Those people over there are just real scammy. Just bad. Just really bad. I can't relate to the guy showing off his new McLaren. No, baby, I can't. You will never. Someone asked me, like, if I would get a car or something, you know, once I hit certain goals. Probably not. And if I did, my like dream car, I guess you could say, is a Volkswagen truck, because I love them. But those kind of things, I'm not into stuff like that. I'm not gonna be wearing a whole bunch of designer. Like, you just would never see that from me. The most you would see of lifestyle from me is traveling, because I think that traveling is good for the soul. But you ain't gonna see me in a first class flight. You ain't gonna see none of that. I just think certain things are a waste of money. And again, it's not relatable. Use your code to pick up another Apex account past 3 so far. Well, thank you, Janelle. I appreciate the support. I definitely do. But yeah, I'm just hoping that over time, you know, I can continue to grow on YouTube. you know, aside from the monetary aspect, I don't really care about that part. I care about money that I make from trading. I don't care about the other stuff. But I just want to create a community of people with a certain like type of environment, you know. That's all I care about, because we all need safe spaces, and we all need spaces where we can relate to each other and talk about different things. Like in my stream, I don't even care if people say, hey, I'm long here, I'm short there. It don't matter to me. You know, maybe someone else looks at the same type of charts that you do and they're like, oh shoot, I didn't even see that here. Maybe I need to, you know, think about going long as well. I'm cool with all of that stuff. I just don't like people coming in telling other people how to trade. That irritates me, because that's not what we're here for, any of us. We're just here to consume content and create community, and that's it. Oh yeah, traveling, look. And I've been to quite a few different countries. Certain places that I want to travel, I just probably never would, because I cannot stand being on a plane that long. But I was telling you guys the other day that the reason why I haven't been traveling a lot, well, number one, because I haven't been working, so I don't want to use my money for traveling. Whenever I do travel, I just use my travel points on my credit card. But also because there was a time where like I was on a plane every couple days for like 8 months. And although it was fun at first, eventually it was not anymore. Like being in the airport all the time, being in you're not in your own bed, eating out all the time. I don't really do that myself anyway, like on a day-to-day basis. So it just was kind of a lot. But eventually, and then I also was traveling by myself a lot. So I'm kind of at the point now where I don't really enjoy traveling by myself anymore. So yeah, I just need me a little travel buddy, and then we'll be okay. So I am done, of course. And it looks like, let's see, 49,340. On the number 17 account, I did lose about $26 this week. And then on the second account, it looks like we're down $16 for the week. Then on the third account, we're up $14 for the week. So we pretty much ended up break even this week. Again, I feel pretty great going into next week. There's only a couple of things that I want to look at based on the two of the trades that I lost today. The other two, I can't do anything about. I can't do anything about being wicked out to the tick. I'm not currently going to change my stop loss. The other one where it rotated over the prior low, I really don't feel like looking through that either. I might if I have time, but I just want to look at those little small things. To be honest with you, this week I didn't really make a whole lot of changes. Not major changes, at least. A few changes that I made were super minor. But yeah, so I feel pretty good going into next week. Yeah, the freedom to travel wherever you want that's going to be the best thing ever. The only thing I don't want is to travel somewhere where my internet is going to be jacked up and I can't trade. That's going to suck. But yeah, so this is where we're ending today. This is where we're ending for the week. I am happy about all of the lessons that I learned this week, despite not really doing as well as I wanted to. But I'm telling you guys, if we can have like 1 week a month where the volatility and the volume is like it was this week, oh man. This week and the week of March 11th were like the best 2 weeks in the last like 8 weeks, no lie. And I just couldn't even capitalize off of it, but it's all good. So hopefully next week we get some good volume and volatility. We'll see. I thank you guys for tuning in today and all this week and the last couple of weeks as well, the last couple of months. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We had really good dialogue today. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early Monday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will be trading 4 accounts next week. The first account, number 17, I'll be purposely blowing that on the 29th, so just be aware of that, because the renewal is the 1st, and I want to just start all over with the balance and stuff on that account. So technically speaking, after we blow that one, I'll still be back to trading 3 accounts. One of the 25Ks is coming back next week, so I'll basically be trading 150K and 2 25K. So we'll see how the week goes. So yeah, you guys enjoy your weekend as well, and I will see you guys bright and early Monday morning. Bye guys.